Well guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be rebuilding the 66cc 2-stroke, which I've had for almost 2 years. So it is a pretty old engine, but don't worry guys, we'll be completely restoring it and rebuilding it in this video. So go ahead and grab y'all some drinks, some popcorn, and enjoy the video. Oh, and by the way, here is everything that is wrong with this engine. Before we go ahead and rebuild this engine, I'm going to go ahead and sand it down with some 220 grit. I'm going to sand all this black paint off so I can repaint it. Well, I got our engine right here, all taped up. I think we got this engine all set. Wiped it down with acetone, sanded as much of it as possible, and I think we're ready for some paint. Here's the paint we're using. Really nice paint. I don't think you'll have a problem with little bits of spots of paint left over. Always remember to do a test pass before spraying.
Two hours later.
Well guys, I think the engine turned out great. Here I have the motor mocked up. I haven't screwed anything on. I think we need to paint these, so I'll go ahead and paint them. I really like the way that head looks. Really nice and shiny. I've sanded this cylinder, just the top of it, just a tad bit. I dremeled the edges. As you can see right there, it's nice and shiny. And I've also touched up the fins. It's going to help with cooling and also going to add looks. Well guys, I've let this engine sit overnight and I've painted a few additional pieces. I think we're going to start putting this engine together. So in order to put the piston ring on, all you would do is just find the groove. Go ahead and move the first piston ring down to the bottom one. Alright, and go ahead and sit it near the groove. Hold it with your thumb and slide the rest of it in like that. And that is perfect. Next up is our rod bearing. So I'm going to go ahead and lube this up. I would just spray this down with WD-40. Wipe it down, make sure nothing gets stuck in there. Then it's as simple as just putting it in. Piston orientation. Most guys generally look at the arrow, but that is not correct. That is not the right thing to do, because as you can see here, there are two grooves or two pins that hold the piston rings in place. These will always face towards the intake side of any 66cc engine. So you always want to make sure your piston rings, or not piston rings, but the grooves are facing towards the intake side. So yeah, remember the gaps are facing towards the intake. So we want to go ahead and align everything just like that. You want to push it through the bearings. One thing I did forget to mention is that this is a long rod engine, or a high hole piston type. So I'll show some pictures here. Pretty much any PK80, FM80 will have a high hole, and this is the high hole. So you want to be sure not to get that mixed up. And I believe the number 2 on the top indicates that this is indeed a high hole piston. So yeah, there are these little grooves inside the piston where the little clips sit in. These things. So these are the stock clips, and these are the ones that came with the piston. I'll be using the stock ones just because they're much easier to work with. I don't even know why this dude gave me these, but these are much better, way easier to install. You know, just take some needle nosed compress it, stick it in the hole like any other hole, let go, and there y'all go. Make sure you hear it click. Again, you want to compress them, shove them in, hear it click, and perfect. We are all set. Now it's time for the cylinder, but it's not really hard because I'm prepared. I'm going to go ahead and thoroughly clean this out, the inside, sand any final burrs off, lube it up, and I'll go ahead and show you how to put it on. So I think I did a pretty good job of cleaning the burrs out. I just took some 180 and then some 500, sanded all the burrs down. It's not perfect, but I mean, you got to keep in mind that all bike kits come like this. Pretty much all the ports look like crap. We got our cylinder all cleaned up. I'm going to go ahead and lube it up. I'm going to go ahead and hit my piston rings too. Remember, the exhaust port is the biggest port and the intake is the smaller port. So I went ahead and took the piston off the rod, just because I was having some problems putting these rings on. The way I did it is I just compressed the rings with my fingers. I held them and I slowly pushed it in until it just popped in. So like that. And we're all set. It's good practice. Always keep it constantly oiled down. We got it in. Push the rod against the clip on the other side. Then put this clip in. Alright, and would you look at that, guys? We did it, we did it. Okay, on goes the head. Don't forget the washers and the lock nuts that go on each stud. It is going to be a little bit hard fishing them out. So I bought this torque wrench from Harbor Freight. We'll see if it works. 5 foot-pounds. Nope. So, Harbor Freight torque wrench. A lot of you suggested I buy one from the previous video, but look, I've tried the torque wrench, as y'all saw there. Did not work. And that's exactly where buy once, cry once comes from. I think that's pretty much it, guys. We're very close to completion. I'm going to go ahead and put the CDI back on. Good. There it goes. Maybe. Oh. Comes with some of the cheapest gaskets, man. I mean, they gotta save money somehow. I've put the studs on, and I'm going to go ahead and put this CNC intake on. Whew. What a sigh of relief, guys. Finally, we got this engine all built up. We got our high compression head, CNC intake, our cleaned up cylinder, expansion chamber, painted crankcase, painted side covers. We got our new CDI, new magneto, and we got tons of more parts waiting on the bike. If there's anything y'all think I did wrong or could have did better, leave it down in the comments below. The only thing that this engine needs is some better studs and a carburetor. I'm just missing the float bowl, but that's pretty much it, guys. This rebuild is successful. So guys, thank you for watching this video up to this point. Keep in mind, guys, this is only my second time. So if you see any flaws I did or any mistakes I might have made or anything I could have improved on, definitely let me know in the comments below. Just try to keep it clean, and hit that like button down below if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. And guys, I have a lot planned with this engine and this project. So guys, the next project you will definitely look forward to. It won't be nothing crazy like putting this engine on a go-kart, and I'm not putting it back on the pit bike. The pit bike is shot. So, but I think it's still going to be pretty cool. It's going to have suspension. So guys, again, thanks for watching. I want to do another one of these where I regrind the piston skirt. I port match it, stuff like that. Maybe some reeds and a better carburetor. But you guys will have to stay tuned for that and find out. And I'm going to do myself a favor and not actually start this engine in this video. That's going to be in the next video. Just because I have to wait for the carburetor. But as always guys, thank you for watching. Hit that like button down below if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you in the next video. Stay tuned for more. Peace.